Well, it's about that time again where I show off the records that I have obtained over the last couple of months. These are the last couple of albums that I picked up for 2024. Or, no, we're in 2024. 2023! I know what year it is! So this is basically everything from my birthday onward. So August, September, October, November. And I gotta be honest, I've slowed down quite a bit. I've got a handful of records here, and I'll hold up the big stack for the title card, so you've already seen the stack itself. But let's talk about these, and I'm just going to dive into them. So the first two I picked up just before the new year from a local record store here in North Bay, where I currently reside, at Waxman Records on Main Street. These are two used records, the first one being Rhinoceros. I've seen this record quite a bit. I've never listened to it, so I have no idea what to expect from this. I'm hoping for some really good tunes. I haven't had a chance to spin it quite yet, but yeah, I've seen it, and I'm like, it's like $5. Let's give it a go. The other one that I was able to pick up from Waxman was Asia, their third release with Astra. Not my favorite from them, but I saw it, and last year or the year before, was getting really into Asia with their two albums, their debut album, and I want to say it was Alpha was the second one. But it's still good stuff, 80s rock, I think that this record was, the reason why supergroups kind of get a bad name, because here we have now. This is the first record without Steve Howe, but Steve Howe is usually with the band. But we have John Wetton, that we know from King Crimson, Jeff Downs from Yes and the Buggles, Carl Palmer from Emerson, Lake and Palmer, and Mandy Myers, who I'm not familiar with. So if you know who Mandy Myers is, let me know, commenting below, just to let me know who this Mandy Myers is, outside of the lead guitarist for Asia with their third record. All right, three records that I got at the very beginning of the Christmas season. Y'all know me. I love Christmas music. Love, love, love Christmas music. So every year I pick up 2 or 3 records that are Christmas themed or are a Christmas record. The first one being The Christmas Attic from Trans-Siberian Orchestra. Not necessarily my favorite in their Christmas trilogy records, but still one that I love. There's still some really, really good stuff on here. Ghost of Christmas Eve is amazing. Boughs of Holly. I really love The March of the Kings and Hark the Herald Angel. I think that one's a really, really fun rock track on there. And Snow Came Down and Christmas in the Air is just a great track. Great time. Concept album of The Christmas Attic. Following that, I got this just on a whim. My partner and I fell in love with the Elvis movie from 2022. So when I saw that there was the Elvis Christmas, the classic Christmas album, this is a conglomeration of 2 of his Christmas records. Yeah, so there's a couple tracks here from Elvis Sings the Wonderful World of Christmas, as well as the Elvis's Christmas album. Those seem to be like the 2 big ones that take most of the tracks off of here. So instead of buying each of them, I figured I'd just buy the one. So there you go. There's the Christmas album. And then finally, to round us off, this was the only one going into the Christmas season that I knew I wanted. And that was Gwen Stefani's record of You Make It Feel Like Christmas. So some great tracks on here. Love Gwen Stefani's work on here. This was the one going into Christmas that I knew I wanted. So yeah, I think next year, because I saw that Seth MacFarlane put out a new record with, I always want to call her the goth chick from Victorious, because man, she was great. She was great. So that's going to be probably the one going into 2024 Christmas season that I'll pick up. And I know that he put out another Christmas album that I think is just hilarious. Okay, so these next couple of records are just some filler records, some albums that I picked up just throughout the year. The first one is The Pineapple Thief, Variations on a Dream. One of my favorite Pineapple Thief records. Remember Us is probably my favorite track from them. This was when they were doing some longer stretches of music. Really love this one and love this record from them. I have the CD, which comes with the bonus CD with a lot of bonus tracks on there. So I really like that. Just going to wait for the color correction to start coming on because I look really bled out. A record from this year that I really, really appreciated, even if it's not necessarily their best record, is the Black Country New Road record live at Bush Hall. And for those of you that don't know, this record is a live recording of all original works that hadn't been released. Basically because the lead singer guitarist from Black Country New Road, after their last album of Ants From Up There, basically said, guys, I can't do this anymore. I gotta go. And they're like, great, but we have all this commitment of like live shows that we can't do without you. And he's like, sorry, guys. So almost on the spot, they wrote all these tracks, and you can tell that they're kind of first drafts, but man, for first drafts, these tracks are amazing, especially for Dances and Turbine Pigs. Such a great track. And this is a really good album. Again, not necessarily their best for Black Country New Road, but just a great album. All right, another one that came in. I finally got my Antimai. I ordered the big double deluxe, so I also have the tape. I have the CD. I have the CD with just the instrumentals on it. I've got the coloring book. I have the action figure. I have the keychain. I have the sticker set. I have the whole 9 yards. This album just sounds incredible. So absolutely loved it. Finally, I was able to get it. And there it is. There's Antimai by the Deer Hunter. And it's just an absolute treat. I've really, really been loving this record. So yeah, it's one that I'm okay waiting for. Now, this one was an interesting one. This was a record that I got from a friend of my partner who bought a record for their partner who I guess had also bought it. And that is the Olivia Newton-John album of Physical. It's still in its wrapper, so you can see all the reflectives of like, there's all the lights that I'm using. And yeah, it's got Physical on it, the big title track. And, I love Olivia Newton-John. Loved her in Xanadu. Xanadu is one of my favorite movies of all time. And I just love her voice. So I'm going to crack into this eventually and give it a spin. But I wanted to showcase that. It's like, yeah, somebody gave this to me because, yeah, they didn't know what to do with it. All right. I think the next handful of these are ones that were released this year that finally came in. And I've got a handful from King Giz. 2.5. I finally got the silver cord and I picked up both versions of the record. So I have the standard edition and I've got the extended edition. And what I really appreciate is that, so I better open it up this way. Standard edition isn't all that glossy. It's just the regular old disc, but the extended edition, I don't know. Oh yeah, it will. It's got a little bit of a shine to it. This is a very interesting set of records that King Gizzard has. Love King Giz. Love the fact that, they got a little bit more protection on these by giving us these like paper bags over top of them. So I'm going to keep those in there. And then I finally picked up Ice, Death, Planets, Lungs, Mushrooms, and Lava. This is very much their jam rock album that they put out. Obviously not last year, but the year before that. And it's fine. Not my favorite record of the bunch. I'm still looking for Laminated Denim for their I don't know if they've ever actually released that one in physical form, but love that one and I love this one, so I finally picked that one up. All right, next up is one of my favorite metal records from this year, and that is from Urn, Feast on Sorrow. Love this record. This one made my top 10, I believe, for the year. And that last track of So The Long Goodbye, Where Do the Memories Go? Yeah, if you're looking for some really, really good death metal, and it's only 3 guys, that's what really blows me away. Absolutely a must-have in any record collection for those who love the harsher side of progressive metal. And then, of course, I had to pick up, because this one made it into my top 5, which is Green Lung and their record, This Heathen Land, A Journey into Occult Albion. Again, love this record. I also love just how, 70s this record feels. This really is the album that I think, Ghost should have put out after Meliora. But that just means that we got it on Green Lung instead. Absolutely a must-have in anybody's rock collection, because it's just that really fun acid rock, occult acid rock that Black Sabbath was doing back in the 70s. All right, and this one is a reissue. I got the Steven Wilson remix of the Richard Wright album of Wet Dream. Love this record. Absolutely adore this record. This is if Obscured by Clouds had a little bit more structure on it. So if you love the sounds that Obscured by Clouds had, you're really, really going to enjoy this record. I've been loving it. I've been listening to it pretty much nonstop since I picked it up. And Steven Wilson's mixing on this just sounds pristine. All right, these next two are some padding for my Yes discography. Two of my favorite shows from Yes, actually. I think I'm, this past year, especially in the last quarter, I was listening to a lot of Yes. One to help for the Wheel of Prog that I did over on the Prog Report. That was a lot of fun. And then I was helping out my buddy Scott from the Prog Corner with one of his live streams and talking about the second half of Yes's discography. So the first I'll talk about is Yes Songs from Tsonga, I believe is how you pronounce it, the 35th anniversary concert. I actually saw this concert with my dad back when it first came out, and so it was really fun to revisit a lot of these tracks. And this is across, 4 albums? So I think this is the longest Yes concert that I have, Yes Songs, I think it is. There's the gatefold there. Yes Songs is only on 3, and then Yes Shows is on 2. This guy's on 4. And it's really good. It covers a lot. We've got Ritual on here, the full track. Now, side H, which is side 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, which is side 8, is just an etching. And I wonder if I'll be able to show that to you guys. I don't know if it'll... there you go. Yeah, so that's... Whee! There we go. That's the final side, which is just the etching of the Yes logo. So that's really fun. I love when a band does that, And then, you got the usual stuff on there. But yeah, great show, great track selection on here. And I remember really, really enjoying this. The only thing that I'm kind of saddened about is that when I saw this show, when they were touring in Toronto, they ended it with Soon. And this one ends with Starship Trooper, which I'm sure, go for it. But I was really hoping that they would end it with Soon, because it's a perfect song to end their album with. And then I had to pick up one of my absolute favorite live shows from Yes, on one that I didn't get to see, but I have in all other formats, and that's Symphonic Live. I have the CD, I believe. I haven't been able to actually find it for a while, so maybe I donated it. Anyway, CD. I also have the DVD. My dad and I watched that last weekend when I was over at his place. And now I have the vinyl. Unfortunately, the vinyl does not have all the tracks, which I'm not all that excited about, It's missing Ritual, which is a shame because I loved how they did it. And they're also missing a handful of other tracks, but you still have Close to the Edge. You still have Don't Go, which I love for Magnification, even though they don't have Magnification or In the Presence, which, again, 2 of the best tracks from Magnification are not on here. But you have And You and I, you have I See All Good People, you have Long Distance Runaround, and oh boy, you've got Owner of a Lonely Heart. Oh boy. But anyway, because they're touring with a full orchestra, the songs on here sound amazing. So finally was able to pick up this one. And I think I'm good for Yes Live records, because I don't think there's another live recording out there that I would want to listen to. Because after that, it just kind of feels, I don't know, a little lackluster, like they kind of ran out of steam. Last one. This was one that I treated myself to for a little bit of an early Christmas present. And that is the new Dolly Parton record of Rockstar. This is on 4 records. It's on a box set. And man, it sounds and looks amazing. I've been listening to this one pretty regularly. Comes with a little book that I really enjoy. You got a little bit of that photo shoot that Dolly went for. And then it's got all the liner notes for each of the songs. Yeah, absolutely a great time. Got all the lyrics. I was kind of hoping that there would be like a little bit more written about each song, like why she chose it, those people that were helping her out on them. And then each record kind of has their own little mini record, you know. So you got the one, so you got record 1, got record 2, got record 3, and Dolly looks amazing as she always does with record 4. Yeah, absolute knockout. Still looks amazing, still sings amazingly, and just acts amazingly as well. So yeah, finally picked up Rockstar, and it's been a great, great time. And that's it. Those are the records that I picked up. As I mentioned, I am slowing down. I've got a wedding to save for. So most of my expendable income is going straight to that rather than to records. And yeah, so you probably won't see another one of these like vinyl updates for quite a while. I do have 2 records that I know are still making their way to me. The one is Carly Rae Jepsen with The Happiest of Times, which I believe is the kind of side B of The Loneliest of Times. And then I'm still waiting on The Flower Kings, The Son of No Evil, which I ordered back in like June, and it still hasn't come in yet. So Amazon just keeps telling me that, oh, it's been delayed. Oh, it's been delayed. I'm like, yeah, I could have told you that. So I do know that those 2 records are coming in at some point. Just have to kind of sit here and wait. I was hoping to pick up the 2 Taylor Swift Taylor's versions that I didn't have in my collection, which is Fearless and 1989. I just never got around to it, and both of them are like $60 a piece. And again, I'm saving for a wedding. I don't have that much expendable income on my hands. So those ones will probably also have to wait a little bit. Maybe I'll, put in a good word for birthday or Christmas or Easter or something like that. But yeah, those are the records that I've picked up since my birthday. What albums have you been picking up since, I guess, within 2023? Let me know all about that. What was your favorite record that I picked up? The one that you were surprised with the most? Let me know all about that by commenting down below. And that's where I'm going to leave it for today. So thank you all so much for watching. As always, you guys are definitely the best. And until next time, notes out. Okay, so now I need to make the thumbnail. Boy, wish me luck on this.